So it's the time of the night where I don't feel like we've had any guests in for weeks, for ages and ages. So if we do that, should be able to hear them as well, which is always a bonus, won't it? So, good evening to the Gas Panic.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are we doing? We all right?
We're all right, yeah.
Okay. See, as usual, I can only see two of you.
Yeah.
Because the third one's, hello, yeah, behind the screen, which is always the way it works out. So, we always do this first question just because people might not have heard of you know who you are. So who have I got in front of me? Now that anyone can actually see this, so it's kind of a wasted point, but it works for me. So who have I got in front of me, and how did you kind of get to know each other and get to be in a band?
We have John Horrocks, who is the guitarist. We have me, who is Josh Woods, and I am the guitarist and vocalist. And Iain, who is the bassist. And I realised I just didn't let any of them talk.
That's okay. Standard frontman though, that really, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's I've noticed the bass player is nowhere near the mic. Go on.
But,
dare him to speak. Go on, get him to speak.
Go on,
Hi everybody, my name's Iain and I'm the bass guitarist for the Gas Panic.
Hooray.
It's really fun.
So how did you know each other? Did you know each other before the band, or was it?
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone knew each other before we came together, apart from one person, the drummer, because we went through...
Josh sacked all our drummers.
Yeah, so I've got that label, unfortunately. But yeah, we kind of all knew each other, and I kind of had this side project of making music just in my downtime, and then just one day I think I got really excited and just thought, should I try and start a band again? And so we got a rehearsal going, and without sounding douchey or anything like that, but it was really fun. And so I was like, I just want to carry on doing fun things now. So I got rid of all my... I have far less work now, which means far less money. But but things are really fun.
Yeah. Well, so, there you go. I will tell you that a lot of bands that do come in, when I kind of say to them, so what's the best thing about being in the band? And they'll just go, we have a laugh.
Yeah.
Because they say if you don't have a laugh, and there's not really much point
when it gets to the
it.
Stage when it gets where it's horrible, then that's the time when it's...
Yeah, because we all go to work and do normal jobs and not have fun, don't we? So you don't want to do it when you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So when did the Gas Panic? When was it born? Would you say?
It's very recent actually. It's
about 3 months ago.
Yeah, about 3 months, and we've just been really active on making songs. I mean, we have 2 EPs worth of songs. I think there's about 16 tracks. And I mean, obviously they've been going for about a year or so, but as a band ourselves, only about 2 or 3 months, I think.
Yeah, we've recently been starting to write together as well.
Yeah,
which has been really easy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been surprisingly easy actually, because I think we've all been in bands before, and I think writing together in a band room just gives you a lot of pressure that you have to write quickly, and so that's why I kind of like writing alone, so that you have a lot more time to develop your material.
So you said you've been together roughly about 3 months, and we'll talk about the big gig you've got coming up in a few weeks in a bit. But have you done anything, sort of played any gigs together sort of back in 2015 then?
To be honest, we've not. We have to be honest that
we haven't played live yet.
But the thing is, all of us have experience of playing live.
I've been in a band for the last 12 years.
Okay.
So I've played everywhere.
Yeah.
So we have all got experience between us. Yeah. We've not just gone, let's play a gig.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we all like to think that we know what we're doing. Apart from...
Yeah, cheers for dropping me in that. Yeah, I'm 27, this is the first band I've ever been in.
So is he like the band Virgin?
Yeah, pretty much.
I was in high school, but nothing ever comes from that. But I do my own sort of side projects and stuff and make music sort of as fun as sort of like Josh was doing, but mine went nowhere. It was supposed to be our project, so I sort of jumped in as a bass player, and so far it's really fun.
That's good. So where do you draw like your inspirations from? Who do you look to? Like what bands and stuff do you follow?
I guess as inspiration, I would like to answer that in a different way, but it is true that I am inspired by other bands like say O2 or Fleetwood Mac or I don't know, pretty much everyone like Elvis or.
It's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, you get inspired by stuff that happens. I try and only let the good stuff that happens, or to at least look at the bad stuff in a fun way.
Do you ever find like when you're writing though, if you think that you're writing something in a certain style, do you think no, I'm going to scrap it and change it, or if you think it sounds like someone, or
we was writing a song not long ago, and we thought this really sounds like a Power Rangers theme tune. So we carried on with it, just to see how far we could get it to sound like a Power Rangers song.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of aimed towards it.
I mean, I believe we're the only band on our level that use auto-tune live.
Yeah.
As a fet, not because we can't sing.
No,
We believe you.
Yeah, because we played a band. The first track we played today was The Rivalry, and the start of that song sounds like which Oasis song did I say it sounds like? Sounds like a really old Oasis song, but off the first album. Not one of the singles, and it just really sounds like it, and you're like, bloody hell, this is like a rip-off. But then actually after about 10 seconds he goes away and they do something completely different. So I suppose you've got to kind of be bold a little bit sometimes, haven't you, when you're writing stuff like that, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I really hate to get this out there because I guess it's not a popular opinion, but I try to do anything that is completely the opposite of, say, Oasis or Kasabian or
that Manchester sound.
And it's not to say that they're not good bands. I can't take away that they're not good bands. I just think the patriotism that is attached to it is.
I think it's the Manchester thing.
Well, that was my era. Well, I'm 38 now, so no, I'm not 38 in a few weeks, but I'm as good as 38. And that's what I grew up with, and there was a big stigma attached to it. You know, you used to go to you used to be able to get to 2 or 3 gigs a week, and because they were playing, you wanted to do the same thing, and there's so many people then who wanted to do the same thing, and you know, you either do one or two things. Like you either copy it but try and take it on a different journey so it's slightly different, or you go, actually no, I'm going to totally do my own thing. I'll be inspired by them because what they did was great, but I want to do totally my own thing. And so you talked about your solo projects before. What was that under your own name or? Yeah,
well, to be fair, I think I started it as the Gas Panic because I didn't want it to just go out as Josh.
Oh yeah, the Gas Panic is an Oasis song, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We didn't know. Well, yeah,
he does really. He does really. He's a closet Oasis fan.
I was going to call the EP originally Sometimes Always as a kind of ironic homage to the Definitely Maybe album, and then I realised that the Gas Panic is actually an Oasis song, so everyone's just got to think that I'm a super Oasis fan.
Yeah.
So well, you're playing in Manchester though, you're not going to go wrong there really. And you say you were in quite a few bands as well then?
Yeah, I think I started when I was about 13.
Okay.
And it's mainly been with my family. We've always had a band together.
Tell them the name of the band.
We were called The Joint. It's not the most uncontroversial name ever. We were called The Joint. I was in them for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And then I just decided that I'd had enough one day. And then I've been idle for about a year.
Yeah.
And then I've known Josh for about 10 years now, so I was listening to his stuff and thought I'd get involved in that. It sounds pretty decent, and I wanted to get back into music again.
Fair enough.
There's a good path into it.
We always ask, and you can answer this question individually. So if you were in the Gas Panic and you could play in any band at all, for whatever reason, who would it be?
Okay, do you want to go first, Iain?
Sure do. There's a band called the Budos Band, I think. Who was this record studio in Brooklyn who still record the old-fashioned way to tape and stuff like that, and it's got that old vintagey sound, which is really, really good. But the bass player in that is amazing, so I guess I'd have to kick him out, even though he's one of my favourite bass players, so that would probably be awkward. But yeah, just a really, really cool sound. It's sort of old sounding, but they had a couple of cool things to it as well.
Who wants to go next?
I'd probably go back in time and be James Brown's drummer or something like that. That'd probably be a cool.
Time travel was involved.
No, we can time travel.
Oh, okay.
It could be anybody you want. Yeah, absolutely anybody you want for any reason.
Oh yeah.
So you could say Guns N' Roses because you want to throw a telly out the room. Yeah. That'd be.
I guess I would probably choose Muse just so that then they only at the Origin of Symmetry album just after that, so I could stop it immediately.
So anything after that, no.
So yeah.
But what was it? Just to commit suicide then and then no more Muse.
So they started releasing weird Queen homages.
Well, that's everyone does that. The Killers did that. The Killers brought out a fantastic first album, and then somebody said, "You're gonna write this stuff, and it'll be really, really successful, and everybody will love you instead of just like a few people will love you." It happens.
It does.
Well, yeah,
there's record labels for you. It happens.
It's the I'm sure the questions came up loads of times. Are we human or are we dancer? What does it really mean?
I have no idea.
And I think he tried to give an explanation, and it just left it even more vague.
Yeah.
So
It's something to do with President Truman or something, isn't it? And
it's not though.
He just had to think of some kind of answers. So at this point, we always ask the bands who come in and the artists to bring in any song that they want. It can be anything that they want to play on the show, apart from themselves, obviously, because touch wood, so far no one's done that and gone, well, we love ourselves that much
sneaked it in.
that we thought we'd play our own track.
This is B-side.
Yeah, we'll whack one of your tracks on at the end, but only one person knows what this track is that right?
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, yeah,
we let Josh choose the track,
Okay,
and we're
so
just going to be a surprise.
Who is it, and why have you chosen it?
It's Devendra Bannerheart with is it Fine Petting Duck? And,
Okay.
I still don't know who that is.
No.
So.
Yeah, and it's,
I actually do. I've seen him.
yeah, he's
I thought it was
very,
a woman,
very good.
but anyway.
This is it's a very nice song, but
Yeah.
it's one that you'll probably have to warm to.
Okay, does it kick straight in, or we're going to have to talk over the front of it?
No, you can. It's
Shall I just press the-
enjoyable throughout.
Shall I just press the button and see what happens?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. So this is what he just said. And the track he just mentioned on Trafford Sound Live and Local. You know what? It sounds like I'm in some kind of trippy club in Manchester. That
I almost forgot about the ending of that tune. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's your choice. We do say you can play anything you want. So that's kind of complete contrast to what did Jess bring in? Oh, I can't remember. One of the American girl singers.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Someone like, yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, we were shaking it off in here and all sorts.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Okay, so we.
Glad I wasn't in that week.
I've lost my train of thought now. So we have the Gas Panic in the studio with us. Who was that again? That was their choice. Who was it?
Oh, it was Devendra Bannerheart, who you don't need to know much.
Okay.
It wasn't a popular tune tonight.
It was different. I'll say that much. It was different. So we'll have a quick chat about what you're coming up. So it's pretty amazing, really, that you've not played a gig together properly, and yet the first gig you have got is at the Ritz.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, though. That's what I mean. It's you know
very good, but I mean,
I can't even remember. How did we get that?
we knew a guy.
Oh, we know a guy.
It was more than that. But we have, to be fair, we've worked pretty hard on the promotion. So I know it's a completely different aspect than just playing live, but because we all have experience at it as well, then
we've done more promotion than actual playing, haven't we? Really?
right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you know, we got all our tracks recorded to a half decent stage as well. So. Yeah, it's fairly.
All that was left was to we better go and play these songs now.
And I also own a video production company, so I make the videos for the band. So we're pretty easy for promoting. We've done a few stupid things that got a few views.
Okay.
Done a few covers.
Things that can be broadcast on radio.
You can. They're just strange and weird. And
Yeah. I watched something the other week, actually. It was a band, I can't remember who it was now. It's a band that we played. They went down to London and went to, it was either in Hamleys or Harrods, and I can't remember which one it is. But it was dead casual. They're all just walking around and they separated. And then one just came along and started playing the piano. And then another one came along and started playing, I can't remember, there was another instrument next to the piano and started playing that. And they started to play a cover of a song. And then another one came in and he was just tapping along on the top of the piano, and then the singer came in and they just did this cover. Nobody knew what they were doing, and then they all just walked off again. And it was just proper, like, you know, I guess it's like a flash kind of thing, but just totally for publicity.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's then talking about them.
I mean, that sounds like that sounds cool, but we're kind of in like a self-sabotage kind of thing where we done a cover of.
We have really good ideas and then think, right, how can we make this as bad as possible?
yeah. We're
just for the
we're in
humorous
self-sabotage
effect.
mode, but it's I don't want to at any point take anything too seriously.
Yeah.
Where we stop enjoying it, because like I said, it's just really fun.
So what do you know about the other bands that are playing? Do you know anything about any of the bands that are playing?
We know Rum Thief quite well.
Yeah.
Josh does their videos.
Okay.
I made their videos, so I know Rum Thief and I know John quite well.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
He's from Urmston, isn't he? I think. Lives in Chorlton. Lives in Chorlton, but he's from Urmston, I think. Something like that. 'Cause I know his stepdad. I think his stepdad's Johnny Spangles or something. Who does a lot of the nights in Urmston. Anyway.
Right. But he sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. I want to meet Johnny Spangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Apparently, he did an epic New Year's Day. He does kind of open mic nights and stuff like that, but he did an epic New Year's Day / evening / kind of thing at the Garrick over in Urmston, a pub, and it was all over Facebook the next day. It was meant to be massive apparently, but I didn't get there, so I couldn't tell you. But Ant, who was on before us, did get there, and I think he's still suffering now.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That's 6 days on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got actually Rum Thief. We're playing them later on because I picked them up quite early.
Yeah.
And I'm playing them quite early. And we've had the Mantels on before, so we know about the Mantels. And Black Sonic Revolver, we played them, I think, as well, haven't we? But then I see there's a couple others being added, aren't there, with Transition Baby.
They've done a few of the Scruff of the Neck gigs, I think. Transition Baby.
Yeah.
And then the Sisters and Jack. Is there a running order? Is this the running order that you see?
I'm not quite sure.
I hope
yet.
so.
Yeah.
Are we near the top?
Yeah, you're second, your main support.
We're not sure yet, but I hope it stays exactly how it looks.
If we say it, will that make it through?
Yes. Yes. Although I don't think the Mantels will be too pleased about it, because I know they've been slogging the guts out all last year, and I'm not saying you guys haven't, but no, it's a cracking gig. Papillon Promotions put it on. Is that someone you know then, is it?
It's a lad called Matthew Ibbott. He's probably the most hard-working promoter I've ever come across in the past 10 years. He really does put a lot of effort into it.
Did he do the thingy in Chorlton, the 24 days of
he did,
Christmas or something like that?
He did 24 straight days of
gigs in Chorlton, wasn't it? Yeah, that's some going, isn't it?
Every single day.
Yeah, no, he's like I said, they're probably one of the most hard-working ones.
Yeah,
when you compare to the promoters of back when
of the past.
Yeah, when I was playing,
You just used to take your money and run.
Yeah.
So besides the gig at the Ritz, is there anything else to come? Are we working on any festivals, or are you just kind of seeing where it goes from here?
We put a application for festivals together, didn't we, with a little video?
Yeah. We've made our own promo.
We're sending videos to people as well as
emails. What's the point of reading anymore?
Yeah,
when you can
we
have
just
a
press
video
play.
telling you why you need us.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
So yeah, we've been doing that, and I guess we've not got anything immediately in the pipeline, but we are constantly working to just play. Really
the next
really great
big show
places.
I want to play after the Ritz. I'm hoping to do something just as big.
Well, I think you will, because if you're playing to that, there's a number of bands there, so they don't just bring people who come to that kind of gigs don't want to come to the bands that they like. They'll stay and listen to all the bands.
The last show that Papillion put on at the Ritz was about 800 people turned up.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that'd be a big turnout.
4 or 5 unsigned bands, and we're expecting the same again.
Yeah,
hopefully.
So you've just got, at the moment, that's just the gig in the pipeline. Are you going to bring, you plan to bring some more stuff out? Or?
I think the second EP is ready for releasing now, isn't it?
I think it is released.
Definitely
it's released.
That's already been released.
Yeah.
They've got that many songs, you don't know. They don't know they've released them or not.
We should do a covers album or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't think you were sold on that idea. I'll be really honest with you.
Yeah, we released the new EP, which is A Long Way From Everywhere. That's on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and pretty much everywhere that you might want to find it.
Cool. And what if anybody wants to get in contact with you? What's the best way, or is it the usual social media outlets?
You can go to the Facebook or you can go to the website, but we do actually have a website, which the only reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So either thegaspanic.com or facebook.com/thegaspanic.
And is the final question from you, is there anybody that you would recommend to us?
Rum Thief.
Thief, I would recommend The Moods and Deaf to the Strange, you might have heard of as well.
Okay.
The Moods and Deaf to the Strange.
Yeah.
Have I missed anyone off? No, that's all I know.
Yeah, it's the best way. Plug your mates.
Yeah.
Well, cheers for coming on, lads. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
very much.
I'm going to play one of your tracks, and I've been totally selfish here, so I'm going to play the track that I want to play and not ask you what you want me to play.
No, that's fine.
So I'm going to play I Will.
Okay.
I played it a couple of weeks ago. Is it about anything in particular?
It's just like there's always this thing that no, it's not about it.
Cool. Brilliant. It's like an interviewer's dream, this lad, I tell you.
I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, no. I'd have to analyse the lyrics to.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, you have a listen, and you might not, I don't know if you've heard this one before, but so thanks to the Gas Panic for coming in, and this is their track I Will on Live and Local.
Tips and I'm